Corey, you're a longtime veteran of the sport. Obviously, PFL is branching out and doing, great things. Obviously, the launch of PFL Africa. Can you talk about the significance of being on an event like this?
I mean, now that you're here, it's more in perspective. But when you're at home, I didn't think so much about the significance and the history and the road it's going to lay out for other fighters here. But now they're here, and you see, it's like this is the first time there's been a big event in Africa, in Cape Town, especially. There's the first time PFL has been here. Um, and just for me, being an African American, I talk to different locals and some of the people in the hotel, and just you hear the history of from the slave talk to the tribal talk and different things like that. And to be, like I said, an African American and lay my roots here, or to fight here where the roots were laid, and make a statement would be huge, because when they look back in history, my name will always be etched in that book.
Gabriel,
Hey Corey, you did an interview with MMA Fighting. You spoke very glowingly about your friendship with Ben Askren and what he's meant to you. Obviously, we just saw his video update and we felt very good about that. I just wanted a chance to ask you, just like as his longtime friend, what's it like seeing that he's now on that road to recovery from everything he went through medically?
Oh, it's great. It's a blessing. I mean, like I say, we pray on it. You pray on it. Me and the wife pray on it. I talked to the wife before I came down here. I guess she talked to his wife, and they're still in the hospital, and they still recovering and going through things. But it's still a long uphill battle before he's out and completely fine. But the aspect of seeing Ben talking and breathing again on his own without a machine pumping him, and him interacting with people. He's sending out text messages now. He's reposting posts. He's actually doing posts himself, talking on the camera. For that, it kind of brings a tear to your eye, because at one point you kind of at that lowest point thinking the guy that kind of helped you find the life you have and gave you the career and the family, or helped you find a career in the family, is almost no longer existent, and then you're in a point where we live about 10 hours away. Well, 16 when I'm in fight camp, 4 hours I'm actually back home where I live, and I haven't been home to see him in a while. And it's one of those moments, it's like you want to see that person and give them their flowers before it's too late. I know right now I already talked to the family. When this fight is over, we're gonna get back and make sure I make it to his house some way, somehow, and go see him and just tell him exactly how much he really means to me, show him how thankful I am. Before, who knows, anything can happen with his new lungs, or anything can happen in life, and he's going. I'm not be able to tell him that.
Thank you.
Shady.
Hi, Corey, Shade of Shay from MMA Dungeon. I always enjoy speaking with fighters who draw strength from their faith. And as I once told Phil Davis, I believe that faith is the best base in MMA. Can you talk about how your Christian beliefs influence your mindset and preparation both in life and in the cage?
Man, my Christian beliefs is everything. I mean, that's who I am. Like everything. When it was the first year, or when PFL first bought belts, so nobody knew what was going on, and my wife kept asking me, "What's the plan?" I said, "I don't have a plan. We're gonna let God. It's God's plan. We're just gonna sit here and just wait. We're gonna wait it out. We're not gonna call nobody. We're gonna not gonna throw no fit. We're not gonna start being all angry on social media. God's in control. He's got the plan. Whatever He wants to be done, His will be done. Whether we fight or we retire, we're just gonna wait for Him to tell us." After a year later, when we still hadn't fought, and the wife was still, "You still haven't said anything. What we're gonna do? What we're gonna do?" I said, "Hey, God's got a plan. We're gonna wait and see. Eventually, the phone's gonna ring, or we're gonna get a doctor visit or something that's gonna say your body is no longer able to fight and it's time to retire. Whatever it is, we just can't fret over it. Just let God handle. Let God handle what He's gonna handle, and that's it." And then for fighting, it's the same thing. Like I've never, when I pray before the fight. I pray when I go to bed. I pray in the morning. I've never once prayed for a victory. I pray for the Lord's will to be done, that He bless me with the health and the wellness to go out there and see things and hear things my coaches are saying, and that me and my opponent both make it home safely to our family. Thank God so far in every fight, everybody's made it home safely. We've had losses, we've had lots of wins. But at the end of the day, I've never thrown a fit, I've never fret, I've never been mad, I've never been upset, because at the end of the day, it must have been God's plan. There's a reason why I didn't win today, and that's just either to make me stronger, or it just wasn't my time to be at that pinnacle. Like when I lost $1 million fight with Nemkov, everybody was saying, "How can you not be so angry? How can I be mad at God? My arm's too short to box with God. I can fight with Him all day long, but He's gonna win every time." So it just wasn't my time to win it just yet. The belt wasn't supposed to be mine that night, and I finally got it eventually. It was His time then.
That's an incredible mindset. Best of luck, Corey.
Thank you.
Marty. Hey Corey, we're not really used to seeing you obviously fighting in the light heavyweight division. Obviously, this one's a heavyweight, and we know Goltzov is well, he's the current heavyweight champion, obviously in PFL. How is that transition to the heavyweight division being for yourself, and do you think your power can correlate in that division also?
That's the thing people don't realize. I actually started fighting at heavyweight. You know, my first time ever going 205 was for the Ultimate Fighter because the opportunity was there and I had to cut the weight, but I did it. And I wrestled from heavyweight my freshman year in high school to my senior year in college. I took second in the country in NCAA's at heavyweight. I was qualified for the Junior Olympics at heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight wrestling coach. So every day when I'm in the room, I'm wrestling with guys 240 to 285. I move big bodies daily. Only transition I had to do was find heavyweights to come into camp more consistently. Instead of having 205 and 85 sparring partners and training partners, most of the guys I was working with were 260 to 285, big heavyweight guys, and then sparring with guys 230 to 240, and sometimes a 220, 205, and finding tall guys, long guys. As for reach, that wasn't a big thing because my reach is just as long as him, maybe a half inch shorter, they say. I think it's actually longer. But finding guys that were 6'5", so I had to punch up instead of punching down or punching at eye level. Getting used to punching up, punching to the chest, working to the body. The transition wasn't hard. It was just finding new bodies and doing the same thing I do with the smaller guys with a bigger guy. And that it consisted of just getting used to moving 280 to 240 pounds every day for 8, 9, 10 weeks, however long we was training, until the body wasn't no longer tired and sore, to where I can still push that pace that Corey Anderson pushed 5 rounds and not get tired. And even better, this is a 3-round fight. So I should be able to do it no problem.
Let's go.
Frazier.
Hi, Corey. You kind of alluded to it there. Obviously, you feel comfortable at heavyweight, but let's say that you get the win at the weekend. Do you play the bad guy? Do you call out Francis Ngannou?
I mean, France is still here. I mean, I'm actually friends with Francis, but I haven't seen anything talking about Francis in the PFL. We've seen his coach say about the chance of him possibly going back to UFC. So it's kind of one of them things you don't want to go out there and just start throwing out names that can't happen. You know, I haven't heard anything say about whoever wins this fight can go to Nagano. The fight I'm more interested in is getting that trilogy with Nemkov. We've all seen that had happened, but when they booked the trilogy at heavyweight, he made an excuse and said he needed more time. I was too tough of an opponent. He wanted an easier fight. So I'd actually be more interested in getting that fight for Nemkov to sell that trilogy and going for Ngannou for the bag.
Thanks, Corey. Best of luck at the weekend.
Thank you.
All right, last question on Zoom. Eduardo.
Hey Corey, I'm with TV10. So the majority of our audience is in Springfield, a place where you grew up and started training. I just wanted to ask, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about your early days when you were training out here?
Home, man. I mean, you got Bobby Brents, Justin Jacoby, Josh Stewart, Louis DeWard, the guys that pretty much, even Matt Fiore, the short time he was there, those are the guys that took me in. When I was just some kid coaching college wrestling, hadn't fought yet, looking for a home, Mark Fiore came down and brought this kid Eddie Smash Machine to my college to come wrestle for me, and I asked him in turn, could I come down to train? He said, yeah, practice tomorrow. I went down, and even Mark Fiore said it then, like, bro, you're good enough in the first 3 fights. You can be in the UFC. You could be in the big show somewhere. And then we did that. Bobby Brinson, those guys took over, and they said, like, when I went to Ultimate Fighter, they told me, don't come here no more. After you go on the show, do not come home. Like, there's nothing we can do for you anymore. You're going to go with Frankie Edgar and legends in this sport. You're going to learn something we can never give you. Once you get there, do not come back to Springfield. And I did exactly that. I still stay in touch with those guys. I talk to those guys. I invite those guys up to Indiana when I do the barbecues and stuff in the summer. Those guys are family. That's home. Those guys taught me everything I know, and which led me to New Jersey to meet Frankie Edgar and Mark Henry and Nick Catone or Ricardo Almeida, who made me the world champion I am today. So just kind of like Ben Askren and the fact that they were a part of my life career and my timeline, they just weren't as big of an impact as for meeting my family and the kids and everything. But those guys in Springfield, that's where it all began.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you guys so much. Over to you, Daniel.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So we've got about 5 minutes, for questions. So, do you want to start and we'll come to you?
Hi, Corey. Julian Felix, IOL News from Zanzibar. Welcome to South Africa. So, I think it was 12 years ago we stopped Steve Flanagan at heavyweight. I believe that's not the last time you fought heavyweight. I mean, do you ever think that with return to heavyweight in Africa? I mean, I believe we touched on some of these things with the other questions, but just the significance of that such a long time ago, and then you're sitting in Cape Town back at heavyweight.
I mean, 12 years ago when I stopped Steve, and then that was in Indiana, I believe. Indiana, Oklahoma, one or two. I actually thought I was going to go on to be the big shot at heavyweight at that time, to be honest. I plan on staying at heavyweight and just, I'm dominating these guys. I'm so much faster, so much quicker, and just as strong. Why not stay there? And then, 2-3 weeks later, I got another fight, short notice. The guy, 205, got hurt, and they said, can you make a catch weight at 220? And after I did that, they still gave me the 205 belt, and that's when the Ultimate Fighter opportunity came. And I made the weight. First time ever making weight was from my first fight. I had never cut weight ever, so that was kind of weird. And now that we're here, it's kind of like one of the guys I train with strength and conditioning with back home when I'm not in camp is my college teammate. He said, like, bro, I've always said you should stay heavyweight. So I didn't expect myself to come back to heavyweight. And I mean, in a way, I wanted to be a 2-belt champ, but at the same time, it was just like I would do it, but it's not like anything I'm looking forward to. But when they called me with the opportunity, like it didn't take like 10 seconds. I was like, yeah. My manager's like, it's heavyweight, right? Like, I don't care. Like, let's go. I'm a big body. I walk around 240. Let's get it. I'm just gonna lift, eat, and just train. Let's go. I'm ready. So here we are. I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to see the kind of performance I can put on with not having a weight cut and have to worry about my brain recover from the weight cut, the hydration protocols, and all that. So yeah, I look forward to seeing. And who knows, this could be even better than before.
Hi, Corey. Denis Goltzov, ESPN. You've been in the UFC before. You were on Bellator prior to the acquisition. Is there anything about being under the PFL that's unique unless the experiences you had earlier in the
I can't really say for sure because I haven't been here long enough. I feel like the championship series I won the belt was operated through Bellator, but at that time it was still a lot of Bellator faces. The same people that I was in Bellator I usually dealt with were still with us. Now when it's just strictly PFL, a lot of those faces are gone. So this is my first event really dealing with those guys. It's my first time really talking and meeting the new faces, the new marketing team, the new PR people, even people like everybody in the room is new faces, new scenarios for me. So it's kind of like just dipping my toes in the water right now, getting the feel for it before I kind of really open myself up and communicate more with people to where we know on a personal level. I got to feel you out. Just like a fight. You go out and you feel it out. You feel it out before you go. Right now, I'm at that feel out phase with the PFL. So far, so good. Have no complaints. So hopefully it continues to go that way and gets better.
We've got time probably for one quick 2-minute question. Chichi.
Chichi's name. Yeah, Corey, so your opponent on Saturday is one of the most experienced in the game, and you're sounding very confident about what could happen should you get the win. So how do you plan on countering his experience so that you actually do walk away with the win?
Same way I've counted all the guys I fought with experience. I've always been out experienced since I got in this game. I came in the game. But people don't realize I had 3 fights when I went into the Ultimate Fighter. And those guys had 20, 30 fights. I went into UFC. I fought Shogun Hua on my 8th fight when he had 30. You know what I mean? The thing is, just go out there and you just put that behind you. Experience don't mean nothing if you believe in yourself. You put the work in every day in the room. You don't have to doubt and worry about what this guy can do. I tell my athletes that. I tell the lower level fighters I work with. Like when you work hard every day in camp, you don't worry about what somebody else can do. You know what you can do, and you're capable of that. You believe in that. But when you start worrying about yourself and you worry, did I do enough? That means you ain't work hard enough. You might want to pull out that fight, or it's going to be a long night. I work hard every day. I've never worried about who I fight. You can have 100 fights. You can have 1 fight. I'm going to go out there and do what Corey Anderson does, and that's dominate. I don't care who you are.